that's about it. Yeah, all the instructions are in the video. It has a clear explanation on how to do that setup. So uh, it will not take too long, maybe it like 20 to 30 minutes, but doesn't take more than that. So please, all of you, whoever doesn't have the Oracle Cloud, please get this installed on your computers. So you should go for uh, Windows version. So yeah, here it says download database XE, right? XE is basically the Express edition. So that's what you want to download. And yesterday, some of you have trouble with the Oracle Cloud sign up, right? Some of them have reached out to me saying that your debit card has been debited by 74 rupees, which is like $1, and you still doesn't have that account working. So what you want to do is go to the right side bottom of your window, click on chat, and select your options here. So I'll put my email ID here, and then I'll put database, and then I select as start chat. So here we have an option called send as an email instead. So if you want to send an email, still they will be able to get back to you. You can put your concern here, like you can write something like my cloud account is not working, and this is my cloud account name, and email ID. This is my email ID associated with my cloud account. uh, Write some details about your problem, like I got 74 rupees debited from my account, and I have not my cloud account is not working. So please refund my money, and also at the same time help me get my account fixed so I can do my practice. So you write something like this and click on continue and submit it. So it will reach out to that cloud support member and they will get back to us. If not, you can just directly do the chat immediately. So you can talk to someone from the Oracle. So yeah, that's about it. And yeah, I know some of you are getting message errors with your account. So you just try to talk to them and they will help you out. So yeah, if that's not working out, just cancel that cloud subscription. Download this free database for everyone onto your Windows laptop or desktop, and you can run all your SQL statements, queries, and everything.
Excuse
So
me, myself Surya, and I had the same problem, and I put up a mail with them, and they replied me that the credential details and the given address are different. I used my credit card of my friends. One of my friends, I used the credit card. And they told me the problem is that the credit card address and the given address by me in the personal information are different, so the card is not accepted. That's the reason they give. So it seems that the details with the personal in the personal information we give and the details that records with the credit card should be the same.
yeah, exactly. That's right. That's something, it's very like basic check. The bank that online transaction will check your current address and your bank account associated address. So all that should be matched. Your account name, your billing address, everything should be matching with the bank account name. That's a basic validation check that will be done in the backend. If that is not matching, it's going to decline the transaction. So just make sure you all provide the correct details on your account while you while you are signing up. And also at the same time, I want to reiterate again that it's not mandatory to have that cloud account. Like I said yesterday, you please feel free to use any of other options we have given. You can use the W3 schools, or you can use Oracle Cloud, or you can use download this software, or you can use any other cloud environments or any other SQL Server, DB2, Postgres, Microsoft SQL Server. I mean, we are flexible. We don't want you to, get fixed to some one of the environments. You're okay. We are flexible, and you can do whatever you want. And we are not insisting you to have this Oracle Cloud account. So sort your issues as soon as possible, and try to get things
Hi, Ravi.
working. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello, sir.
hi, Ravi. Hi.
Hello, sir.
Actually, yesterday when I'm trying to sign up for the cloud account, first of all, $1 Singapore has been debited, and in the night I got the message 12 Singapore dollars has been debited from my credit card.
Yeah, so like I told you, right, you all need to use only the free tier environments, not any of the, you should not upgrade for any of the environments. It says always free. So you need to use only the free. And also, if there sometimes there could be some mistake from Oracle side also, the way they did that transaction. So you reach out to them and tell them that this is not something expected. Most probably they will refund your money if that transaction is not a valid one. So reach out to them, email them, or talk to them in the chat, and they will get back to you.
Hello, sir.
The cloud account has
Hello,
not
sir.
been generated, and the amount was debited. What is this?
Yeah, reach out to cloud, right? You talk to keep them. They might be having some, I don't know what you did, what details you have given from while doing it, how you did it. So you talk to the Oracle cloud account, tell them that you don't want to use it anymore, refund all your transaction, and you cancel your subscription, and you try to do some other W3 school or any other installation.
Hello, sir. This is Supriya. Actually, I am also facing the same issue, sir. Uh, Actually, this is not my own credit card. I am using my relative's credit card. They're asking me like, please remove that credit card details. Uh, Actually, they are getting messages like 10,330 rupees debited from their account.
Yeah, so I don't know how you created, like yesterday I told you that you need to use always
Sir, I will
free.
share my no, sir. I will share my screen now. I am using that free version only, but I don't know why they are sending me those messages.
Okay, can you share
When I
your screen?
Yes, sir. Wait a second. I'm sharing.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about that. You email them,
No,
they
sir.
will
Actually,
do the
I
refund.
mailed them, sir. I mailed them, but it will take 24 hours. But my relatives are calling to me. Please remove this account like
Yeah,
that.
you can remove that. We can remove that
Yes,
from
sir.
the settings.
Are you able to see my messages? I mean, their messages. They're getting like this.
Can you show your cloud account? I want to see your
Yes,
cloud account.
yes,
And also, uh, you can go and do the live chat.
yes,
I
sir. This
showed you
is
that.
the. Are you able to see my
No,
screen?
I'm not able to see your screen. That
Again, I will share my screen.
so if you can do the direct live chat,
Actually, I
maybe.
have seen that message, Ravi. That says it debited only one Singapore dollar, not 10,000. 10,000 is the available credit limited. That is the message which you shared. Actually,
Yeah, this is the message.
This is
Can
your
you show
free
the
trial.
message again?
You are seeing that
What's
you got 400 Singapore dollar free trial. You can use that $400 for free for you. It's given from Oracle.
okay? The limit is 10,330.
Yeah, you just show me the message again. I didn't see that
Sir,
message again. Good catch,
I'm sharing my
Santoshana.
screen share. Sir, I
Show me
don't
the
know.
text message. Like,
Yes, sir.
Raviana,
Are you able to see my screen now?
yeah,
Raviana,
yeah. Please.
what that foreign something is written upon there, no? That you have SGD 400 left in your trial.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you
all you
have that?
got. You got $400 free from Oracle. You can use
Yeah,
that.
yeah. What I mean to say is like, do you have like you also have the same message in your screen?
Yeah, I had it. I consumed all my space that free. It will be valid only for 1 month. After 1 month, if you don't use it, that all $400 will be expired. That promotion. It's like a promotion offer. Oracle gives everyone to use their features. So that's going to be expired after 30 days. That's what they show in that. So
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
see this, their transaction of SGD 1.38 on credit card.
Yeah, sir, that is the limit of sir, 10,000 rupees, sir. See the third message and second message, compare them, sir.
Yeah,
That is the inner limit, and third one is that debited from the date.
yeah. Just
actually,
explain your
that
relative what it is and talk to them and
affected
tell
only
them not
one
to
time.
come.
Sir, it means I won't pay any money to them, sir.
Yeah, they will refund you back that $1 also. Whatever they transacted, they will refund you back.
Okay.
So tell
Okay.
them
Up to
not to
now, there is
panic.
no issue with this.
Yeah, there is no issue. That's what you're looking like at your message. That's what it says.
So can you please start the class? Time is passed away.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I will start. You don't worry about that, but I need to address all the concerns. People are having misconceptions about few things. So I need to clarify all those doubts before I start the class.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I tried installing the software which you have sent today morning, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I installed the software successfully, but during giving the commands, like you gave some commands in SQL shell, no, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yes, while doing that, I'm facing a problem like it's showing some errors, sir.
Yeah, we'll see that in the lab. But for now, I want to check with people like if they're having any more troubles with cloud.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So yeah. Does
Sir,
anyone
how
else?
to, sir?
Hello, sir. It's Ramu, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Z080.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Yeah.
I started to create an account on yesterday night at 12 o'clock. I do it for 2 times, and I've used it one time for debit card, and I've used it one time for credit card. And the debit card money is also debited, and the credit card money is also debited, but there is no account created. And I'm going to the customer care means they are not responding, sir. I have sent it mail for 2 times or 3 times, but they're not giving any reply.
Yeah. So just hold on. Did you try the chat on the window? Chat.
No, sir, I have sent mail, sir, because the chat is not responding.
Okay. So let me check quickly in the chat.
I think he will get the money back. I also did the same thing. I used two credit cards and I got the refund back after some time.
Yeah. So let me show it 1 second. Let me stop share and reshare my screen. And
Or Ravi, one of us can take care of that person and we can handle it
yeah, can
offline
you,
if you
yeah,
want us
if
to.
just raise your hands, like whoever has trouble with the cloud, like payments or something, can you all raise your hands? Okay, 825 and how many emails? So Shailendra, can you go ahead and create a breakout room and with all these guys who are raising their hands, maybe Sai Krishna, you and a few others, can you join that breakout room and help them, reach out to Oracle through chat or help make them send an email? Right, how to do the chat. Like you just go to this website, oraclecloud.com, and
Yeah, we'll find it out, Ravi. Sure,
so
thank you.
yeah, I want this to be sorted before we move on. I'll just go ahead and start the class, but I want you to go to the breakout room and help them fix these things. So Shailendrana, please create a breakout room, and maybe Sai Krishna and few others can go to that breakout room and help them sort their issue.
Yeah, Santoshana, if you're available, you can join.
Yeah, Santosh Angulana and few others, like whoever is interested. Shailendrana, you're on mute. Can you hear? Can you hear me? Okay, Sai Krishna, can you call Shailendrana on his phone and just uh, ask him this that to create a breakout room for all these guys?
Sure.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, so that's fine. We'll get things sorted. And one more thing, like so yeah, I know there will be troubles, there will be some concerns, there'll have some issues always when we deal with the online stuff. But you need to focus on, learning these things. These things are these are important, but at the same time, your focus should be on learning on how to do the things online, because uh, we we are having all these troubles, right? Like we are unable to step out, we are unable to go to institutes, we are unable to join, attend interviews in person. So everything is being digitalized these days. So everything, there are a lot of digital transformations that are happening in the world. So you need to adapt to those changes. If you're not adapting to the changes, we will be left behind in the world. Like whoever is being adapting to the changes, they will be grabbing all the opportunities. If you're not adapting to the changes, most likely we will end up having losing out the opportunity. So you need to quickly, be very adapting to all the changes that are happening around you, uh, which will help you, to grab the good opportunities. So the same way, like this cloud is also something new for you all. I know you're all may not have be good familiarity with all these things, but it's that you need to put all your efforts on how effectively you do this, and how to learn new things related to your because you're the way the, the field you have chosen, you're choosing like a IT, information technology, software, engineering jobs, right? So you need to be very, very familiar with all these online, the way things happen online. Like one of the girl had shared her message. She even did not read the message properly. She just got panicked on what it sent, and she understood something else. So this is not expected from a BTech graduate or a graduate who is looking out for a job. You need to be more alert, you need to be more smarter, you need to be more adapting to all the new things. So yeah, so because it's going to be really tough, because the job market is very bad these days, and there are not many jobs out there. Companies are all doing very bad. So you need to be putting extra efforts, to get that grab those opportunities. So you need to be 200%. You need to giving 200%. In order to be more effective, very different from others. So, and we will help you for that. So don't worry, and we will get all these things sorted. So now I'll go
I
ahead
feel,
and yeah.
excuse me, sir. I feel that if we have any other platform other than Oracle Cloud, then people can easily buy free of cost by not putting any credit cards or debit cards. In that way, also it can helpful for them.
Yeah, I've given those options, right? I've sent that email, I've put that in the chat on how to do it. So there are always options uh, to do that. I was trying to give a free, a easy platform where you don't need to install your softwares on this thing. But yeah, some of them did, some of them it's working, and some of them it's not working. But yeah, that's totally fine. But try to focus on learning on how to get the things working. So that's the whole point. It's not where we do, it's what we want to do at the end. So now we'll move on to our class. Sorry for the delay, because these are some of the important things, and hope you're all able to see my screen now. Okay, so yesterday we have created two tables. I'm not sure if I've dropped them, the demo yesterday. Okay, there are two tables out here, which I created. You can see on the left side of my screen, there are three columns here: employee name, employee ID, employee number, and student has student name, student ID, and so it says quick DDL. If I right click on this table, it says quick DDL, save to work. Okay, so yesterday I've manually gave the create statement, right? So that create statement is automatically saved within the database. So when I did the right click and click on quick DDL, it gave me the structure of the DDL, like code, the SQL code that it has been generated in the backend. So this way you can generate the existing DDL statements of your tables, right? So if you want to upload some data, like let's say if you want to upload if you have Excel sheet or something, you can go to your right click on the table and do the data loading. So you can click here, data loading, and do that upload data. So here you can go to your select files, click on select files, you go to your desktop. This will be a local thing, and you can upload your information on, if it is a spreadsheet or Excel or CSV, you can upload your data using from this. This is how you do it. Like let's say you have 10,000 records, you don't want to insert each and every records manually with a SQL statement, right? So you just go, you have that Excel sheet spreadsheet in your laptop or desktop, you click
Suggestions, I think. SAR is no. SAR is there. Now SAR is there.
Okay, okay.
Hello.
Or it is not supporting.
Okay. Yeah, I
I'll
think
try
they only
yesterday.
have very minimum. They only have very
Yes,
minimum
sir.
functionalities.
Yes.
That
a primary key on this column that will help us create. It will take care of all that um, it will take care of it by default. Whenever a new record is created, it will by default take care of if there is any duplicate data. It will stop inserting the data into that table. It will throw an error that constraint is violated. So you can't basically insert a duplicate data into the table. This is something like a validation. It acts as a security officer at the gate. If let's say if there's a big company and you're not an employee or you don't have an appointment to enter into the building, so he will check whether you are having any ID or you are having any ID card, you are having any badge, you are having any appointment letter. He's gonna check. The security guard is going to check whether you are authorized to enter into the building or not. If you are authorized, he will he will allow you enter into the building. If not, he will kick you out, or he will not allow you into the building. He will stop you right there, right? Until unless you satisfies conditions, whether having an ID card or whether you are having an appointment letter, or there are some conditions to that security guard. There are some instructions given to the security guard by the company management. If all those conditions are met, all those conditions are satisfied, then only you will be allowed to enter into the building or enter into the company. The same way we are instructing this table and applying some constraints, applying some conditions. If these conditions are satisfied and met, then only this record which I am inserting will be allowed into the table. So that's the usage of these constraints into the tables. So I'm going to disable the chat. I'm getting a lot of messages while I do this. So do that quickly. Okay. All right. So thank you. So yeah, going ahead, and this is about the primary key, and there is another advantage of primary key. I'm gonna very shortly demonstrate that. So now I'll create a foreign key. Okay, foreign key. So we'll see this in definition of foreign key. Primary key and foreign key are very much related. Now you'll see how they are related. So a foreign key is a constraint between two tables in a database. The foreign key identifies a column or set of columns in one table that refers to set of columns in another table. So basically you're creating a relationship between two tables and you are referencing a primary key as a foreign key in a different table. We'll see how that works. The definition could be a bit confusing, but just try to understand some of the key words here. Foreign key identifies a column or set of columns in one table, which refers to set of columns in another table. That means I'm referring my columns. Let's say there are two tables. I own one table and someone else owns another table. My columns are reference used as a reference on a columns that are on a different table. So why do I create that? Why do I really need to do it? Why don't I just create two different tables? So we'll see how exactly that works and what's the purpose of doing this thing. So I'll go ahead and copy this syntax and I'll put here. So I have this RPL students, right? I'll create an RPL HR. HR is basically the human resource. So human resource, and I'll put RPL ID here. Okay, not HR, I'll put mentor here for our more clear understanding. And I'll put mentor name here.
RPL ID into
Int is like integer. Either I can use integer or I can use whatever. I can use number or integer. Do this. RPL ID, mentor name. And here I'm referring my parent table. And in the parent table, I'm picking this thing, and the foreign key is my RPL ID. Okay, so this is my table. I'll rename this students and mentor. This is my foreign key name. We'll now go ahead and create this table, mentor table. Okay, table has been created, right? So now I'll add some, okay, before I add some data into the mentor table, I'll now first check how many records are there in my students table. Okay, there is only one record. I'm going to add another record. So because earlier I tried to insert a record one, it failed. So I can't insert duplicate. So I'm going to add another one. And with a different ID. This time it should work. Yeah, it says one row inserted. I'm going to add another record, 3. Giving some random values. I'm inserting it. Since this is a DML, I need to issue a commit. Okay, now I'll check, run the select statement. Okay, I'll re-log in into my account. Okay, so yeah, I'm having now like 3 to 4 records in my table. Yeah, I have 4 records, right? So this data is from my RPL students table. So I created another table, right? Like mentor table, right? So where I have my RPL and mentor. So I'm going to insert a record, insert into mentor values. Let's say student ID is 1 and I've assigned mentor of Krishna. Krishna is one of the mentors. Krishna is one of the mentors. So I'm assigning that mentor to the student. Student ID is 1, right? I'm going to insert that record now. So it says row ID has been inserted. I'll issue a commit. Okay, so now I'll create another record. I'll insert another record. I'll give some in student ID as 10 and I'll assign some random name. Okay, I'll keep some name like Iron Man. He's our mentor for this student ID 10, or else I'll just leave it as he's our mentor again for this guy student ID 10. So I'll now insert it and see if that works. So it says integrity constraint has been violated, parent key not found. So looking at the error, can someone tell me what's going on? Why did we get this error? Why did this constraint failed? So A05, can you tell me why we got this error?
Because
I
the
think
10 primary key is not entered on the table.
Correct. That's right. Very good. So we got this error because, like I said, if we see our parent table, select star from students, what all the values do I have here on my students table? I have students 1, 2, 3. That means right now in my class, I've admitted only 3 students in my class. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to insert a value in mentors table with a student ID 10. So the student ID is not even existing in my class, but I'm trying to accidentally insert a student ID of 10 and I'm trying to assign a student to the mentor. The student itself is not existing in my parent table, but I'm trying to insert a value which is not even there in my parent table and I'm assigning a mentor. which is an incorrect total blunder, right? How can I assign some imaginary student to my mentor? So this is totally incorrect. So this is a big blunder of from my side, that I'm making a mistake, that I'm assigning the imaginary student who is not even existing in my class. I'm assigning him to a student, sorry, mentor. So this is a purpose, like, to avoid these mistakes, so I don't accidentally insert incorrect data into my table. I am putting constraints, I'm putting conditions on my tables. Okay, if this condition is met, then only this record should be allowed. So what is the condition here? Since I created a primary key and foreign key relationship between these two tables, I will be able to insert only these IDs with only these RPL IDs 1, 2, 3. Here I'm trying to insert 10, which then it failed because the primary key parent key record is not found, which I'm trying to insert here. So now I'll change this 10 to 3, and I'll again insert it, and it should work. So let's see if it works. Yeah, it's one row is inserted now. Now I'll issue commit. So we'll see what are all the records in our mentors table now. Select star from mentor. Yeah. Oops. It's just mentor, not mentor.
Semicolon.
Not required. I accidentally I had an incorrect name. So yeah, so our mentor Sai Krishna has now 2 students. Now I'll assign a different mentor to student ID 2. Okay. So now I'll insert this record and I'll issue a commit because this is a DML, and I'll again run my select.
Sir, when we write foreign key, we need to write references also, sir. In 15th line, you wrote references, RPL, students, RPL ID. In that way, we need to write references also for foreign key.
Correct. Because this is a syntax. Basically, this is a syntax, standard syntax that we need to follow. But what I'm trying to do here is forget about syntax. Just look at English, the basic English, the real literal meaning of English of these 2 lines. It says constraint. Constraint is basically a condition. You're creating a condition. This is any name. You can give any name you wish, and then comes the foreign key. So what is a primary foreign key here? My foreign key column is this column. So I'm telling the Oracle that please consider RPL ID as my foreign key, and where I'm referring it to, which table I'm referring to. So what is my parent table? So I'm referring to my parent table. This is my parent table, and inside my parent table, what column I'm referring to it. So RPL ID is my foreign primary key parent column in my parent table. So if we go back to the definition of foreign key, so a foreign key is a constraint between 2 tables in a database. The foreign key identifies a column or set of columns in one table that refers to set of columns in another table. So by now this definition should make sense to you, because you have already seen this practically on how you relate a parent table and a child table and a parent key column and a primary key column and a foreign key column. So that's a relationship between you're establishing a you're basically relating a 2
Sir,
tables.
in the 14th statement, FK STU means the parent table student, sir. In the 14th statement, FK STU. Foreign
FK is
key,
the
STU. Foreign
foreign
key,
key, STU is student.
STU, student, mentor.
See, this can be anything. This can be anything. Like I said, maybe I'll just put some random ABC or whatever it is. I can give any name. It doesn't mean it. Just to make it look meaningful, I put it as a FK student and mentor or something. So that if you want to see in future,
Sir,
go to the DDL and see. You can
hello,
easily identify that. That's a naming
sir.
convention. Yeah.
Sir, why we assign RPL ID to only foreign key?
See, because I want those two columns to be validated. I want to put condition on these two columns. I want to check. So yeah, so what is the whole purpose of doing? Why do I need to relate two tables? What's the whole point? Why do I need to? Why don't I just add a mentor name into this column itself? I can do that, right? Why do I need to maintain two separate tables and complicate the things by creating a primary key and foreign key? I doesn't need to do it, right? But why do I need to do it? What is the whole purpose? So the reason is in the real time, in the real time, let's take an example of a big organization. So there are like hundreds, thousands of millions of employees, like Amazon. There are like more than 3 or 4 lakhs of employees. So in real time, like this is a small table I created with only two columns, but in real time, it's not going to be the case. It's not going to be the case. Each table is going to have hundreds of columns, right? So, and there is a limit on the tables of each table.
కాదు వాళ్ళు అనుకుంటున్నట్టున్నారు
Can you please
అవన్నీ
mute?
తలుచుకుంటే ఒకనొక టైంలో ఒళ్ళు జలతరుతుంది కొన్ని
Mm. Okay. Yeah. So basically, what I was talking about, yeah, if there is a big organization and there are like lakhs of employees in the company, and in the real time, the table is not going to have just 2 or 3 columns. There are going to be hundreds of columns in each table, and we have a limit of 256 columns in each table. So, and also it doesn't make sense for me to create hundreds of columns in one single table. It complicates my query. It increases the size of my table, which will impact my performance later. So I don't want like creating hundreds of columns in single table. It becomes very difficult for me to manage. Even if I want to run some reports onto the table, it's going to take a lot of time considering the size of the table. So what I do is, instead of dumping all the data into one column, one table, I will create multiple tables. I'll create different tables with less number of columns. So for me, it will become easy for me to manage in a real-time scenario. In the real companies, we are going to have hundreds, thousands of tables, and each table we will try to keep them small, so that it will help us increase the performance. And yeah, and also you're not dumping all the columns into single table. This way, by creating these constraints, I am doing the integrity check. Integrity is basically how correct your data is, how authentic your data is, how is it valid data or not, are there any duplicates or not. So it's basically checks. Integrity is basically it check the authenticity of the data in your database. So to meet that authenticity or integrity, we will be applying all these constraints, especially when we are dealing with large amount of data in a very big organization or in a very big companies where there are like hundreds, thousands, lakhs of employees and lakhs of data. Like let's take an example of Amazon. Amazon website has millions of products that they're selling out. And if you see on Amazon website, each product is identified with some product ID, which you can see. So that's basically their unique identification of each and every product. Just like we have RPL ID, every company has a different way to identify each and every product, each and every employee, um, or each and every thing that they're dealing with. So in the database, they will assign some IDs, so they can uniquely identify and differentiate each and every product and each and every person who's associated with that company. So that's the whole purpose, and that's about primary key and foreign key. And we'll quickly see what is unique constraint now. So unique constraint is basically the name itself is unique. That means, let's say if we say a person is unique, like I'm unique, that means I'm different from others. You are unique. You are different from others. You're not same like your friend or your colleague, right? You're unique by yourself. You have a unique characteristics. You have your unique facial features. You're very different. You're very unique, right? So similarly, here the unique constraint ensures that all values in a specified column are distinct. That is, the column cannot contain two identical instances of any value. Attempting to insert a duplicate value into a unique column will violate the unique constraint and result in an error. The unique and primary key constraints are both provide a guarantee for the uniqueness for a column or a set of columns. So it says it will guarantee for uniqueness for a column or set of columns. So here you need to remember that when I created a primary key, by default, a unique constraint is defaultly created in the database when a primary key is created. But when you create a unique key, primary key is not created. It's only one way. If you create a primary key, it's like 1+1 offer. If you buy primary key, you will get unique key as free. But if you buy unique key, primary key is not free. So that's how it is. So that's the nature of primary key. If you ask me why, that's the nature of primary key. That's how the database has been designed. Okay, so constraints, the unique and primary key constraints both provide a guarantee for uniqueness for a column or set of columns. Note that a primary key constraint automatically includes a unique constraint. I told you, right? Buy one, get one free. If you buy primary key, you will get a unique constraint as free. So that's what it says. Note that a primary key constraint automatically includes a unique constraint. So yeah, now let's create a table with for a unique key. Mm,
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Like foreign key, can we give any name to primary key, sir?
What do you mean by that? Like you're saying here you're assigning some name, you want to assign some name,
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Since this will automatically generate, so let's go back and check. I think it's defaultly Oracle has generated a value for primary key, I think, but you can create if you're altering that table at the later stage. It is going to create alter table students using index enable. In the backend, it will usually create, but yeah, it's not really required. You don't need to give. That's not the syntax. You don't need to have that in place. But let me check once again.
Okay, sir.
Alter table primary key. Syntax. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, we have given the yes. We can give the name. Okay. So here, if you see the syntax on this, so this is one of the website. This is very nice website which I use for all my select statements. So whenever I need some help, I'll be using this website which I'm putting in the chat. You can refer to this website if you want to, get some syntaxes about Oracle. I posted it in the chat. Yeah, so if you see this thing here, it says constraint supplier underscore primary key. So you can assign a name to primary key. Yeah, definitely we can do that.
Okay,
So
sir.
coming
Thank you,
back
sir.
to our window of unique key. Yeah, I will create and I'll go ahead and create a unique constraint now. Create table. Assignments. I'll assign a assignment ID. Keep it simple. Maybe I'll just leave it as users ID number and first name unique. So here I'm identifying this user ID as a unique column, right? So this is a simple uh, way of creating a table with a unique key. This table has been created. So now I'm going to insert some records into the table. One, three. I'll insert this record into the table. Okay, just one record has been inserted. I'll now issue a commit because it's a DML. Done. And I'm going to insert another record with same user ID, but I'll change the names, first name, last name, and I try to execute it and see what it says. It says unique constraint violated. Why? Because earlier I created inserted a record with user ID as 1. Even though I changed my names, since the user ID matched with already existing record, the constraint has failed, right? So that's the advantages of having unique ID. So I, instead of, like, let's say if there is a employee ID in a company, employee ID, I want it to be very unique. I want the employee ID to be identified uniquely based on his employee ID. Then I'll just go ahead and create just a unique key. So you can ask me, so why don't you said that you for with if you create a primary key you will get a free unique key, right? Why don't you just create a primary key? I will create primary key only if I have to relate it to some other table. That means if I have a requirement of a foreign key on a different table, then only I'm going to create a primary key. If I don't have a requirement of a primary key relating it to another foreign key, I don't have to create a primary key. I just go with unique key. So that's the whole point, choosing between unique key and a primary key. So you need to, as a developer or as a DBA, it is your decision to whether to go with a primary key or a unique key. So because tomorrow you get into job and you're working on these select statements, or you're working on this SQL PLSQL thing, you need to decide on few things because you are the person who is going to design the tables, right? So it is your responsibility to decide whether you want to go with a unique key or a primary key or foreign key, what keys you want to create, what is the columns you want to create, what data type you need to assign. So it's all your responsibility. No one is going to come and tell you that, okay, come on, now you use this key, you put this data type. So it's no one is going to really come and teach you how you want to do it. If you are selected in a job, it is expected that you need to do it. You need to decide on how you want to design the tables and how you want to do that. So you can't look for help. You can't ask people these basic questions, because if you ask too many questions, people will think that, okay, this person doesn't have any skill set. He doesn't have any knowledge on this thing, and he's asking too many questions. So let's not give him more work, and you'll get a very bad impression on the on in your team. So it's you, even though you don't know, that's fine, but you need to build an attitude of learning it yourself. If you don't know anything, tomorrow you join some job, it's not that everyone knows everything, right? In the initial stages, no, even I don't know anything when I joined my job. but always I used to use Google. That's one of the powerful tool which we have. So always before I ask any questions to anyone, first I'll do my research. I'll check internet in the internet. I'll do everything from in the internet. I'll check all the, if I get an error, I'll go and check why did I get the error. So I'll put this error in the internet in Google. I'll see results. What are already, there could be some articles in Stack Overflow or whatever, wherever. I'll go and check and see why I'm getting this error. I'll do my own research. If I still don't get that answer in Google, 99.9% of the times you'll get the answers in Google by yourself if you do the right search. 0.1%, I agree. There will be some scenarios where you can't get answers. In that cases, you can go and talk to your teammates or your manager or your team lead or whosoever who's above you to help. But it is expected that you do your own work by yourself. Also, during our lab sessions or during our class, it is expected that you ask only relevant questions. You may having 100 doubts in your mind. You don't need to ask those 100 doubts to me. You can get those answers yourself, and you need to build that attitude right from now onwards on how to do your own research, how to get answers from Google, how to learn by yourself. If you still don't get some answers, we are here to help you. But I'm not saying we will not help you out, but it's important on to how you learn things, right? It's very, very important, and that's how it's going to be there out there in the real world when you join job. It's all you yourself, you, your boss, and your work. So it's all about three things: how you do your work, how you deliver your work on time, and how effectively, how quickly you do your job. So it's all about that three things. So yeah, I try to implement that right from today. You don't ask silly questions to your mentors or your to me or to someone else. And next, in the coming days, Prasanna sir will teach AWS. So try to not ask any silly questions. First, do your research and then only ask questions. Because if you ask me some dumb question, I'll get a feeling that, or me or someone, your mentor or AWS faculty, he will think that, okay, this guy is very dumb. He doesn't know anything, and he's not doing his research, and he's totally asking me dumb questions. So I'll get that kind of impression. Similarly, if you tomorrow you go to job and you ask some dumb questions to your manager, he will think that, okay, this person is unfit for the job. He's not doing his research properly, and he's not having great knowledge. So that's kind of impression we people will get. It's okay, you can ask whatever questions here, we don't mind, but if you go in the real world, that's what it's going to be look like. So just be careful on that. And yeah, another constraint we have is not null constraint. We'll go back to our document and see the definition of not null. Okay, not null and check constraint. Okay, we'll do this check constraint. I'll also show you the not null, but let's do the check constraint first. So I'll quickly finish the class in next 5-10 minutes. We'll do this constraint and then we'll end the theory for today. And yeah, so create table products. So you have product ID, number, and product name. Cost says what check constraint I'm putting. I'm putting is as cost should be numeric and it should be positive check. Numeric constraint, positive check cost greater than 0. So you can understand this, right? Like what exactly I'm trying to do here. Product ID here, it should be first numeric and then positive cost check. It says cost should be greater than 0. That means it should be greater than 0 rupees, like 0.1, 1 rupee, 2 rupees, 3 rupees, not less than 0. Like it cannot be negative, right? You cannot sell a product for a negative price. That means you cannot sell something which is less, which has a price lesser than zero. You'll go bankrupt. You cannot make any money if you are selling some products in your shop or in your store on your online website. So it should be greater than zero, right? So that's my constraint on this. So let me run this query. Okay, I'll do it a little bit different. Okay. Will make I want to make more money, so I'll put I want my product to be more than 100. So I'll run this product table now. I'll run this, create this table. Okay, tables product has been created. So now I'll insert some records into the table. Values. Product ID is 1. Okay, product ID is 1. Product name is okay. Mobile phone, say mobile, and I'll put my cost as 50 rupees. So I'll try to insert this record. Okay, it says check constraint has been violated, right? So it's violated my check constraint because I'm giving a cost price of 50 rupees. So what did I put it here? I said my product should be more than 100 rupees. But what I'm trying to insert is 50 rupees. So basically it means it failed, right? So what should I do? I should go back and change my price of the cost of the product. I'll make it as 101. And again, I'll try to insert this record. This now it successfully got inserted. So this is the advantage of having check constraint. That means you are asking the table, you're giving some conditions on the table, you're putting some conditions on the table saying that these conditions need to be satisfied for all the new records that are going to be inserted into the table. If these conditions are met, then only you will be able to, your insert statement will be successful. If not, it's going to fail. So that's the whole purpose of having these constraints in your tables. So these constraints play very important role in your day-to-day life in your as a developer. So you need to be very careful with these constraints. These are very simple concepts. At the same time, these are very complex. It's very easy to understand. But if it would sometimes it's really very hard to explain in the interviews because most of your questions will be surrounding to your primary key, foreign keys, primary keys and foreign keys. There people can ask like tens of questions. Your interviewer can ask full 10 questions out of these just two topics, primary key and foreign key. So you need to 100% put 100% focus efforts on understanding how primary key and foreign key works. Like I explained you some of the scenarios, but there could be another hundreds of scenarios. So your job is to read the definition, uh, read examples from the internet, create tables with primary key, foreign key in different scenarios, and test it out different scenarios on how exactly it works. So you need to do the rest of the part of learning. Or maybe I can teach only to 30 to 40%, but remaining 60% is required from your effort on learning it by yourself by creating tables and foreign keys, primary keys, and understand the whole concept. So that's about it for today. And I'll quickly open the chat. If you guys have any questions, you can put it in the chat window.
Not null consent is not explained, sir. Not null.
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. But it's already 12 for me. So I'll do that today. Don't worry. But just focus on these 4 constraints for today.
Okay, sir.
So
Hello,
can we
sir.
give one more example for check constraint, like as you gave for primary key and foreign key?
One more constraint.
One example for check constraint, as you gave for foreign key and primary.
Okay, I'll give it. I'll give it.
Sir, we didn't even discuss grant and revoke, sir. Yesterday you told that we will be discussing, but we
Yeah,
didn't
I'll cover
discuss.
that. I'll cover that tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll pick this.
In the meantime, you search that, Ravi. I just want to give an example for the check constraint. For example, if you have a retail chain of stores and the store supervisor will not go beyond certain discount, say the price MRP is 100 rupees, say he wants to give some discount to the regular customers. He cannot go less than 95 or 98. So they can have that check constraint in their application actually. So this is another example of check constraint.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's a nice example. Thanks, Natashan. Yeah, see, like I told you, right, there are hundreds of examples online. Go to this techonthenet.com. See, if you see this thing, it says check constraints. So there are a lot of examples in this. You can, go to this website and try out all this. Just copy paste this and try to understand how exactly it works. And don't just try to copy it and paste. Just try to understand first what the syntax says, and then execute it on your database and see the results. Add some data, delete some data, update some data, and that's how you learn, right? If you just go to your book, read the definition, and if you read the definition, definitely tomorrow you are going to forget it. I'm sure that you might remember it for 1 week, 1 month, but after 1 month, if I come to you and again, if I ask you what is check constraint, you are going to forget the definition. But if you do that in practical, if you do all these things like creating, inserting, and updating, or if you do practically all this, you trust me, you're going to remember it for lifetime. So that's why we are all stressing a lot of we have assigned you all mentors. We are focusing a lot on the labs and practice sessions, because you are not doing all this practically, you are definitely going to forget in the very near future. So that's the whole point of asking you guys to have the environment set up, sign up for these cloud or whatever, install software. So that's the whole point of having pushing you guys to have the environment so you can practice and you can remember it for your lifetime. So yeah, any more questions?
Excuse me,
Sir,
sir.
hello.
Yeah.
We are having null values in our table. Is it acceptable by primary key or unique key, sir?
Yeah, good question. I think we can't insert a null value on a primary key. So let's quickly do that. I will try to insert null value and it should throw an error. So I'll put values here, first name, and I'll put some names. Insert.
Another day.
It says cannot insert null into the student ID, because here I have 3 columns, right? I did not assign any value for RPL ID. RPL ID as my primary key, and I'm trying to assign no value for that here, right? So it says I cannot insert any null value into the primary key. And coming back to the unique key, let's say, where did I put my unique constraint? Okay, I'll try to insert a unique constraint here. I'll add last name for take this out, insert. Yeah, so unique constraint does accepts null values, but whereas primary key doesn't accepts null values. So that's the interview question. That interviewer is going to ask you, can we insert null values in a primary key table, primary key column?
Sir, one more question, sir. Table can have one or more primary key or one primary key, sir?
Yes, we already discussed that in our definition, right? Primary key can be created on more than one column. The combination of a primary key which is on more than one column, it is called as a primary key, composite primary key. Yes, we can create.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
And we can call it as composite key or composite primary key, sir.
It doesn't matter like what you call. You should be able to explain that. It's usually called as, I think, composite primary key. Yeah, composite primary key.
Sir, excuse me.
Yeah.
I have a doubt in foreign key. In 14th line, can you please open the worksheet? Yeah, in 14th line, can we mention two columns for a single foreign key?
No, you can create another foreign key for that if you want to relate to other column from other table.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, tell me.
So how can table check and since we can greater than 100, right? So
Your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. Can you put your question in the chat? Can't hear you anything.
Sir?
Yeah, it is disabled. Can you enable?
Sir?
Okay, Sai Krishna or Shailendra, can you enable the chat?
Yeah, it's done.
Please
Sir?
go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, can we use composite primary key as foreign key in other table?
Yeah, you can use it.
Okay.
Brother Ravi, brother.
Yeah.
I'm having a doubt related to the tool issue. Like you are seeing this employee, mentor, RPL students, and these all tables in your left pane, right?
Right.
So I don't want to see these all.
Don't want to see them?
I don't want to see this all.
If you are creating, they will be displayed there, right? That's how this web console is designed.
Like this employee table is yesterday's, right? We created a table and we just did some processing over there,
You don't
right?
want to see that, delete it. It will not be displayed there.
Like delete means?
Drop the table if you don't want to see it
Yeah,
there.
if I do that, drop the table, like it is executing like the trouble, and it is saying that the table is dropped, but it is showing there. Yesterday also, I think so. We dropped this employee table.
No, it should not show it. Maybe I've created it again. I'll try to drop it now and see it now. Drop. Okay. See, employee is gone.
Okay, so after refreshing, it is going.
Yeah.
Done. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all for today. We will do some practicals on the lab, and lab mentors will be available. So it is expected that you all practice these topics which we have discussed today, and I want you all to copy those. I'm putting all these in the chat window, so hope you all can see those commands. So I'll give some I'll put some questions which you need to do those exercises for today. I'll share it with in some time. Maybe I'll write in a Word document and I'll share it in a couple of minutes. Just wait in your breakout rooms, and I will give you assignment on what you want to do today on based on these topics like primary key and foreign keys. and you need to do those assignment today, and complete it, and share your assignment in your Word document and share it with your mentor. So I'm going to give you the instructions on what is expected from you guys in today's assignment. So yeah, I will, but now for now, you can go ahead and do your practice in your lab session for the next 1 hour, and I will be sharing that instructions. If someone is not having a database in their laptop or desktop, I gave you one email, right? I sent you some information earlier how you can download that Oracle thing in your laptop, which is like free. That software, just like you install any other software, you need to download that product and install it, and you need to complete the assignments. So yeah, that's the expectations for today from you guys. And I think we can now break out for the lab session and continue doing our labs. Yeah, so Kalendarana, can you create open the breakout rooms?
Yes, I'm opening. All rooms are open.
Okay, great. Thank you.